water jar on her shoulder. The young woman was very attractive in appearance. And I think I touched on last week that where I came through wanting to share this lesson was I had been in a class with Lauren, and he went through and was showing the different qualities that Rebekah had early on in her life that she was chosen for a spouse. And I think we talked about, and I really appreciate what you said, Kim, too, is, maybe you have daughters or sons, but like you said, maybe you're a counselor at camp, or there's different areas, or grandmother or great-grandmother that you can influence people and talk about what these qualities were. So as we read through, it says, the young woman was very attractive in appearance. And as I read through different debates, some say that she was very attractive, right? Just physically attractive. Others say that her characteristics are what made her attractive. I think that's one of the more debatable parts in there. And then it came through a maiden who had known whom no man had known. So this is an indication at that time, if she was from a wealthy family, she might have garments that indicate that. But also looking at maybe a level of morality that's there, right? And I think it's important to note that some people don't become Christians till later in their life, right? So any type of activity that might have happened, I think that we don't want to just base on one thing sometime. I think this is really important quality, but if someone misses this quality, it doesn't mean that the Lord forgives, right? That she's there, she's willing to help. I think that that's a great quality. When she had finished giving him a drink, she said, I will draw water for your camels also, until they have finished drinking. How many camels were there? 10, yeah, 10 camels. So drawing, this isn't I'll fill the dish for your puppy to have a drink, right? 10 camels, that's kind of a big deal. So she has one jar, and you think of drawing that much water for camels. So right there, I feel like that really implies a work ethic, something that she's willing to go the extra mile to do.
So I always heard that the camels drank 40 gallons of water.
Yeah,
I was thinking that must have been filling up a
exactly. And you guys are ahead of me on that. You're exactly right. Yeah, it's so she quickly emptied the jar. But look, this is you're with me. We're on the same page, Brenda, because I read 30 gallons, so we could say 30 to, we'll say 35 even, but that's 300 gallons of water. And a gallon of water weighs 8.3 pounds, and if you did that times 300, that's 2,400, almost 2,500 pounds. That's over a ton of weight. So, and even a camel, it takes 13 minutes for them to fill up, or whatever, drink as much as they can, they said. So at 10, that's over 2 hours of watering these camels for somebody who just walked, who just came up, oh, no problem. Oh, I wouldn't do that. I hate to say it, but that would, as far as going above and beyond, I know it's a different time period and everything else, but that's, I thought that was really interesting. So this is, 95 gallons of water, that huge garbage can. So, you think that's at least 3 of those. So, yeah, just dumping. And she had one jar indicated from the beginning. So, yeah, definitely hardworking, good work ethic, willing to kind of go the extra mile to serve somebody else.
It's also indicated in that scripture that this is a particular style of well where it's down 30 to 40 stairs and back up and down and back up.
Can you believe? That's interesting. I was looking at the different types of wells, but I didn't know it was that time.
Yeah. It says she went down and came back up in that one.
Back from there.
And I think,
yeah.
To me, I think this is my thought process. I think I'd go out of my way sometimes if I said, okay, here's some water. I'll loan you my jug if you want to keep it down. Out of my way to help this person out.
Yeah, you're so right, Kim. I'm on that same train. Oh, I'm so nice. I love in my jar. That's a really good point. But to actually, yeah. So even over 2 hours of that type of, I was amazed by the weight of it, right? Anyways. When the camels had finished drinking, the man took a gold ring and weighed half a shekel, and 2 bracelets for her arms weighing 10 gold shekels, and said, please tell me whose daughter you are. is there room in your father's house for us for us to spend the night? And she said to him, I am the daughter. So right here, she could have been kind of coy about who she was, right? Like she could have, or maybe she didn't know this person and she wasn't sure she wanted to share that information. But right from the start, she definitely just is honest, right? And she just says exactly who she is. And then I'll just leave it at that. And then he asked to stay there. So first of all, that's a great honest quality. And then hospitality pops into here, Aspen. So she adds, we have plenty of both straw and fodder and room to spend the night. So here she's willing to offer her home, her family's home, and supplies. And it's not just like someone coming and staying in the guest room. They also have 10 camels and different things. So I really appreciated that. The man bowed his head and worshipped the Lord and said, Blessed be the Lord, the God of my master Abraham, who has not forsaken his steadfast love and his faithfulness towards my master. As for me, the Lord has led me in the way to the house of my master's kinsman. Then the young woman ran and told her mother's household about these things. Okay, so I don't do a lot of running. But I just thought it was interesting, like she didn't just like, okay, I'll get to it or procrastinate. She just went right there and took care of it. And her going ahead and running there is allowing the household to be prepared for guests. I mean, definitely in a different time period, it would take a little bit more to be prepared. So I appreciate that quality of just acting when it needs to happen and not putting it off. That's convicting for me. So I appreciated that it said, and she ran to it, just her willingness to do that. So as we went through it and we discussed it, the kind of list of things that came up out of Rebekah's qualities when she was young was that she was beautiful, she was moral, she was diligent in her work, like really stuck to what she was doing. She was willing to serve, went the extra mile. The work ethic for her home, she brought honor to her family in these qualities. She was honest in who she was. She was really open and not, trying to mislead anyone or trying to get out of work in any way. And it came off as very sincere, right? Like she offered her place in hospitable, kind and considerate. So those were some of the qualities of Rebekah that we were able to pull from that passage. Can you guys think of any other things that might have been overlooked?
Well, she didn't seem too fearful of this stranger either.
Oh, that's a good point, right?
She must have recognized that he was from a wealthy, he was a servant of someone wealthy.
Right.
He had these gold bracelets for her. So she must have recognized that.
Do you think she knew that he would have gold bracelets for her, so she was doing this for payment?
No,
Yeah,
that's not the point I was trying to
Yeah,
make.
no,
But
yeah.
she had to have recognized him as somebody important.
But he was a servant, and I'm sure she recognized that he was a servant. He wasn't the master of whatever household. And I think sometimes people, that's just a servant, or that's just somebody who they don't count because they're not the head of the household, that kind of thing.
When I hear you say that, Patricia, it reminds me when I worked in the service industry. So as a waitress, you have people who treat your wait staff a certain way, but then the owner walks up and then they're too, so that's an interesting point.
He also could have been a thief. He was a servant, he couldn't have been, he himself probably wasn't dressed in robes of gold or anything. 10 camels, he could have been a thief.
Yeah, stole them, right, from someone. That's interesting.
The opportunity presents itself as over and over and over again. It's just like, here, she was prepared and ready. Yes. And we've got all of it prepared and ready.
That is so true. Thank you for bringing that up. I think the opportunity, they present themselves all the time, right? And when in an opportunity, if you're not kind or considerate, that often can pay off.
She didn't give me excuses. I mean, I
Yeah,
find myself giving excuses like I have this, I have that. She didn't do it. She stepped up and
Well, I'm busy. I'm very busy.
No, no gain for her in what she was doing, and she had no idea really who, you know, what the future was going to be really, and she was offering to water the camels. There was nothing in it for her at all.
Right.
She was just genuine.
And that's a really good point.
She also knew that her home, even though it wasn't hers, it was her mother's, would be open to them. She knew that she could offer that.
Right. So to me, that's even like the intellectual part of what resources I have, how I can utilize them, or, you know, that I would be allowed to utilize them. Sheila, did you have something?
I like that she accepted the elaborate gift that she was given. It's so easy to do stuff for some people, but it's sometimes really hard for people to do stuff for you and accept it in return. Just, oh, don't worry about that.
Right.
Like, no, oh, you can't give me anything.
That is so true. And I think not only in materials, but in compliments, we have challenges with that, right? Like, oh, you did a good job, and oh, no, I didn't, no, I didn't. But just learning to say thank you, or, yeah, that's a really good point.
That's probably, I think, one of the hardest things for a lot of us is to be willing to accept. But somebody told me one time, they said, if you are not willing to accept when somebody else is either giving you a compliment or paying a bill for you, or, because there's been times when, you know, I've had, and that is hard to accept. It's easy to give. It's so easy to give. But if you're not willing to accept when you need it, you are doing them a disservice because they then can't do what God has given them the ability to do to help.
I totally agree. I was just having a conversation with a friend at work who's pregnant, and she said, I don't want a baby shower. I don't want to feel like that. And I said, she threw one for her sister, but she doesn't want her sister to throw one for her. And I said, to me, that feels like you're stealing someone's joy, right? Because it's a joy for us to give people things or to receive them. And so stop stealing someone's joy. Not allowed to do that. But sometimes that's that opportunity. So,
Being humble enough to accept it.
right. So how does this story wrap up? Does she go for it? Does she stay home? What?
She says whatever is God's will.
Yeah. Because her family, so then he goes back, meets the family. It's like, okay, she's going to go. And the family says, well, maybe we should take some time. And what does she do?
I'm ready to go now.
I'm ready. Yeah, exactly. So she was willing when she was being called. And I just was listening to a podcast on some of this, but anyways, I thought it was interesting as she goes back and marries, and they were saying that there's indications that her husband was one of the only gentlemen in the Old Testament who only had one wife through this. And I just thought it was interesting that many others had lots of concubines or different things, but this was one that was noted in that. I thought that was interesting.
Who was that? Was that again?
So it was just a commentary on one of the things, but that many of the husbands that you see in the Bible have many wives.
Right, so which one did you just say?
Rebekah's husband.
Okay.
Isaac. Sorry.
I wasn't sure if it was talking about Chronicles.
No. Isaac. Yeah. And that was just a commentary. I haven't seen if it's in the Bible or not. So anyways, I was thinking specifically as we look at qualities in her young life, that those were things that, that were laid out there for her. But that's what I had on Rebekah. Does anyone else have any other points to her early portion?
But I've learned that she does have a good attitude. She doesn't grab and complain and say, oh no.
Oh,
She doesn't go out and say, yes, I don't like doing that. Like sometimes they'll say, oh no, complain. And so she did it with a happy heart. She did it without complaining. She did it because she wanted to do that. She didn't say, she didn't have your mom say, yes, you have to do this for us. She did it with open heart, and she did it because she wanted to help. And it's really cool to notice that, because a lot of times if they want to do something, they have to, when they don't want to. They want to just make them want to complain. And some people have a hard time with that sometimes. not everybody, but do I really want to do this? And they get out of their comfort zone.
And at that time, like at that time of the day at the well, she wouldn't probably be the only woman there. Like he's like, oh, there's one, maybe I'll do this. But,
Right.
you know, there were multiple people there. But she was willing to help. Like she asked.
She's willing to say, okay, like they've asked other people,
Yeah.
but she's saying, but they asked her, and she's, oh,
Or
okay, what
she
can I
offered,
do?
right.
And she was
Yeah.
willing to do it without even questioning, say, okay, what do I have to do? And so that's what I pay her, and that's a good example for us also. There's all these qualities, I can see all of us in that.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Because that's what we're, and it's just, really, kind of inspires me to keep on doing what I'm doing. Because if she did that, I can do it too. And it's really encouraging to know that it's okay. You can do this, you can do that. You don't be nervous, but you're afraid to try something new and try to do something else. And you're saying about people can give, but also it's hard to receive. Because sometimes people have a hard time either doing it because you receive it and you don't. I'm trying to say. Because you take it away from them, other people that want you to learn how to do that
Yeah, absolutely.
and to grow. That's what I'm looking at because she's trying to give example to the other women that were in the well and the family. That's why I look at her because I look at all her qualities. And it's just amazes me that in all of us.
Well, and for me, like, I have to work on one or two of these qualities to grow them. Like, it's quite a list. So, you know, for me, I just am trying to be more kind. You know, it's like,
But even because a lot of people don't think that they're beautiful. A lot of people don't think they're willing to go the extra mile. Some people have a hard time going the extra mile. Some people don't have that, they're nervous and they're scared to try it. But it's just nice that we have that person in the Bible that says, okay, this is a great moment for us.
Thank you.
So it's okay. And try it and see what happens. Because just by choosing an example of what we can do.
I like that. Thanks, Kim.
So she left what she knew,
Oh, that's
her family, that she might not ever see again, back then that happened, to go to what she didn't know. And that took a lot of faith.
Give me just the words around. I was gonna say.
I didn't even get that. Yeah.
There was a laundry list of what he sent the servant to look for,
Yes.
right? They had qualities, they had time, so he knew what he was looking for. She didn't say nothing about, like, hold up, what does this man look like?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What am I walking into? I'm hearing questions about that. So it's a lot of faith to kind of walk blindly of, I have no idea, like, what the circumstance is going to be. You know, that's one thing, I guess, she's faithful.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That should just be added.
I love my husband,
Yes.
but I dated him before we married. I don't know that I'd have let my mom and dad to go to somebody that I didn't know.
No,
But this is one story that's really important to teach us what love is. Because Rebekah loved Isaac,
yes.
but she didn't fall in love. She learned to love him.
I thought it was interesting in this conversation I had with Lauren. He was giving statistics of arranged marriages.
They last.
Yeah.
They last.
Yeah, that's what he was saying, that they statistically are, they have higher rates of same marriage.
Brent's grandmother was a mail order bride. Literally. He wrote a letter to this company. They sent her to him. They got married that day and they were together until they died.
And often, I think as young people, if we're talking about marriage, your family knows you or knows your qualities to look for, to trust in. And I think sometimes as I have children, they're not recognizing that as much right now. Because I thought it was funny. Lauren said, you know, Beauty's on here. And he said, once your kids, this was his advice, once they fall in love, and they're like in it, and their emotion and their hormones are in it, they forget all this stuff. So that's why you want to get this information to them before they fall in love. So that they can kind of look at that. He said, if they're in love, like, it's too late. So that's a hard thing to. So just giving them, listen, these are some qualities you might want to look in a future spouse or anything. So I thought that was funny, which is, yeah. everyone, there's a part of me that's like, you don't have to be beautiful or what, but I think the way that God has created all of us, that we all, everyone has someone who they think is beautiful, and everyone's beautiful to different people, and what makes them beautiful, and I appreciate that part of it. All right. Well, thank you guys. Carol will be back next week, so thanks for your patience. Oh, yes.
I was just thinking, similarities of us being the bride of Christ. And we have these qualities to be his bride.
And every one of them except the first ones are ones that we can develop.
Absolutely. And with plastics, no, I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing.